Hi all, welcome to Night Rips. So as you may have previously watched a video, sometimes I'll clean my shelves and I'll find some just random packs that I haven't opened that I might have gotten either out of an auction, gifted to me, maybe a bundle of loose stuff, whatever. Well, time to start cleaning my shelves because I like to try to at least keep just the boxes there so I can have multiple rips of the same thing and do a lot more research. But to clean my shelves, I want to clean my shelves sharing with you. So today we're going to be opening up, of course, the common theme of today is fat packs. Here we got 4 fat packs and a pack of something else, the bonus pack, and we'll look at this here in a second. But as we get ready to open this, let me go ahead and invite you to go ahead and join the channel by hitting that subscribe button below. Also, make sure to hit notify so you get notified when I put up. In 1980, obviously, Topps before 1980 had the sole contract to do baseball cards. But, it was Fleer who actually fired the opening shot when they challenged Topps in court to be able to sell cards. Now, Fleer, of course, you may or may not know, Fleer is actually another candy company. Topps is a candy company too. Matter of fact, it was a bubblegum company. It's where Bazooka comes from. But Fleer wanted to challenge it and actually won in 1980 since the contract stated that Topps could sell baseball cards with candy or gum. So what Fleer and eventually Donruss ended up doing in 1980 is selling baseball cards without any gum. Now, they did some stuff different, and we're going to see that in this. But, it's what led, from the monopoly pre-1980 to the triopoly until the mid-80s, until really 1994 when the strike happened, and then everything blew apart. Now, after the triopoly, that's when everybody came in. Everything I'm going to show you here is actually part of that mid-80s to mid-90s, known as the junk wax era. I still like junk wax because really it was when I grew up with baseball. And so a lot of the players, even though the cards aren't really worth much, which is why you can still find so much of it, but I love it because it was the players that I used to follow. And a lot of these players are Hall of Famers. So let's go ahead and get ripping and I'll show you what I have. So let me zoom in. And we'll start with these first 2 packs. Now these are Fleer 1990s. Nice, again, junk wax. Not going to be worth much, but, this is the company that ended up really challenging Topps as the top company. But let's go ahead and take a look at these. And I don't know. I have some Fleer. I don't remember what year. I know I have some Fleer 92, which we will open today. But I don't remember if I've opened any of this. Now, what's interesting is the fact that you see the 10th anniversary edition. And since this is 1990, this falls right with the story of, when they were challenging in 1980 to start selling cards. Now, we are going to look for cool people like this, 1990 Mark McGwire and Tom Glavine. Now, this would be Tom Glavine's second year. Or no, third year. His rookie card was in 1988, I believe. Totally forgetting anymore. That's why usually whenever I do some of these openings, I'll have notes, especially if there's if it's things that I'm kind of planning, things that will be on my channel pretty soon. Darryl Strawberry, remember him. Really, we're just looking to see if we find anybody that jumps out. The Barry Bonds, the Glavines. Smoltz came out in '89. This would be, actually, there's 3 of them here. This would actually be, since they couldn't sell gum, this would be what Fleer did. They actually gave stickers and these quiz cards, which is kind of cool. And actually, in a way, I like these better today because I do have some old Topps That's, the old wax pack stuff that I will be opening here pretty soon. That still has gum in them. And the gum does so much damage to the cards as it sits there for so long. Oh, this is cool. I haven't seen any of the All-Star team, but Cal Ripken Jr. Obviously the guy who, most consecutive games in career. Well, actually, I got to watch him play. There's Edgar Martinez. One of the only numbers that the Mariners have retired. Ozzie Gillian. It's an interesting looking cap. It would be Chicago. I'm trying to say, why would it be a C? There's Sid Bream when he was still with the Pirates. Obviously, he went over to the Braves shortly after. Had that wonderful play that put the Braves in the World Series. Not the 95 one, but previous one that we ended up losing. 90s was our decade. Harold Reynolds. So that's pretty cool for that one. But we got two of this one. This is going to be the only time very rarely will you ever see me open two of the same loose pack like that, because it's what I can get my hands on. Usually when I get a loose pack, it's usually just one. When you see me open up more than one, it's typically because I got a whole box. Now let's see what we got here. Obviously we're going to probably get a few more stickers. We might even get another All-Star team. I got a Superstar card. There's John Bover. What we got? Howard Johnson and Ryan Sandberg. Of course, Ryan Sandberg, definitely one of the legends for the Cubs. Howard Johnson, he's definitely another one that everybody from a Mets fan remembered, or Braves, since we did play him all the time. It's Pena. Speaking of Howard Johnson, there he is. And he played with him for years. Well, he started with him in '85. Greg Olson. Every time I think Greg Olson, I think of football. Is he a tight end? I forget. Don Ace. There's Joe Carter. Oh, this is cool. I don't know if people would really feel this way about him anymore, but 90s player of the decade, Jose Canseco, one of the Bash brothers. Pretty cool, but obviously definitely one that will never hit the hall, because number one, he was crazy. Number two, he was so roided up. There's a reason why he could slug it as much. Peds, he landed square on Peds. And these baseball quiz, we know from the previous, they're all sticker cards. Little mini stickers or full stickers, I don't know. It's Willie Wilson. Let's see if we find anybody else in here that's kind of cool. There's Chuck Finley. Nice picture there with the A's, or the Angels. I'm not saying I don't like Canseco, because obviously he was I think he ended with the Devil Rays, but just did a lot of bad things. The roid rage was part of it. It's Mike Scott, another one of those All-Star teams. So I'm a pitcher for the Astros. And actually, this is the second All-Star. We did pull this once before. I want to say it was in Topps at a previous year. Oh, our handy-dandy checklist card. I'm glad we don't do those anymore. If you want to know a checklist, go to the internet. But you didn't have the internet back then. There's Tony Pendleton when he's with the Cardinals. He's also a Brave. And that's it. Still pull some cool stuff out of that. Now let's move to the second of the teams or company that challenged Topps back in 1980. So they actually came out with a 1980 set also, but that would be Donruss. Now everybody knows Donruss today. It's actually one of the Panini brands. Actually, Donruss, before Panini acquired them, Score actually bought them. They went bankrupt. I want to say it was 1996, 96, 97 time. So they actually ended up going to Score or Pinnacle Brands. And, obviously Pinnacle went under shortly afterwards. And then, Pinnacle went under shortly afterwards. And then Panini ended up buying them. So that Panini ended up getting the Donruss name, the Score name, the Pinnacle name. Fleer's still around. Upper Deck is still around. But this was one of the 3 triopoly. Now this set actually has some interesting cards in it too, because I know some error cards. This is 1990 Donruss. So this is their 10th anniversary. And honestly, I'm looking at this pack that has absolutely no writing on it whatsoever. I honestly don't know what this came in. Don't know how many cards. We do know it's a fat pack because, well, it's kind of thick. But it might have been part of another thing. It might have been inside a hanger box. I don't know. This is all I have. And back in the junk box era, there was so many products coming out. They were coming out so fast that it's just hard to, you just go to ComC and go to 1990s baseball and you'll see all the brands, all the ways things came. It's crazy. Because by this point, Upper Deck is in play. Score Pinnacle's in play. Pacific's in play. You could find baseball cards everywhere. Let's see what we got. There's Harold Baines. Oh, this was a nice one. It's Nolan Ryan's 5,000 strikeout. The amazing thing with Nolan Ryan, and every time I look at his card, and you just look at his stat block, 68 on. This man had been pitching longer than I've been alive. So, nice card. Paul Gibson, I remember him. Actually watched him play too. Actually used to live near the Joker Marchant Stadium, which is where the Tigers spring training. Howard Johnson again. This will be his National League All-Star card. Yeah, that's that logo. Anytime you see that, that's an All-Star card. That Power. Another good one, of course, American League All-Star card. Bo Jackson. And to be honest, sometimes I go and look up when I find these things to go say, okay, what's my expensive cards? What's my don't care cards? What's the rare ones? These, because really you have to have graded versions of these and they have to be graded very high. They're really not worth much. Like this one is Mike Schmidt, which is actually a cool one, all-time great card. Problem with this one, it's not centered. It's not centered top bottom. It's not centered left right. So even though the corners are nice, the surface is nice, it's just not worth anything. Of course, another one played for the Phillies forever, and saw him play before too. Sometimes showing my age, but yeah, it's Oil Can Void. Remember a lot of these because, obviously, if you look at my playlist, The Hunt for Reggie, that was all 1990 Upper Deck. And a lot of these players are the same ones you're going to find there, like Fernando Valenzuela. Now, at this point, he'd been playing for quite a while. I have his rookie card from 1981. They only have the 85 to 89 on there. But yeah, I have 1981, where he was one of the 3. Back when, a lot of players didn't have one. They didn't put one player on for a rookie card. They put 2 or 3. And that one's actually, mine is still in relatively good condition. Even though it traveled in a shoebox, just like a lot of our cards did back in the day. At least it didn't make it into my bike spokes. Kenny Maldonado. Mike Felder, who obviously is kin to Cecil and Prince. I don't remember what the relationship was. There was either brother, cousin, uncle. And if anybody remembers, drop it in the comment section below. My old mind, sometimes things do slip. Next pack. Now we have opened a lot of this. I did find a whole box of this once before. These are the Fat Pack from Fleer 92. Now what's neat about this one, there's a potential that you can pull a Roger Clemens autograph out of these. We never did. Matter of fact, we didn't even pull all of his career highlights. But definitely some cool ones in here. The Provisions art cards, I do have that entire set. And it's definitely another fun one. And obviously, you knew you had something with this when you actually start seeing odds. See, there's that one of the hand-signed Roger Clemens cards. Value of $50. I bet you it's not anymore. Chance of finding it, 1 in 35,000 packs. Probably not going to get it. But you never know. This honestly could have been sitting around for, it's a 92, therefore it'd be 30 years with a Roger Clemens autograph in it. I don't like how these packs are because they are difficult to open, which is why I definitely cut them out. But yeah, I hate those packs. Now we have seen these before. Obviously there's Pudge. Not seeing anything jumping out at me because I know that Roger Clemens cards are actually black backgrounds. Because we have pulled some of his highlight cards, just not all of them. And then one of them we've actually got was damaged. There's David Justice. Obviously he started in 1990. Pat Clements, not the one we're looking for. Brett Butler, see him quite a bit in the early 80s, or late 80s, early 90s. There's Brent Saberhagen. I would say a well-known pitcher for the Kansas City. Kirby. Kirby left us too soon. There's Mike Felder again. Definitely got to do some research on him to remember what's the Felder relation. And anybody knows, comment section is right below. There's Smoltz. One of the triplets. The one that actually won the least number of Silent Young. And if anyone doesn't remember, he only won one. Glavine won 2. And Maddox won 4. 3 of them as Brave. Chuck Finley, pitcher for the Angels. Eric Hansen. There's Primetime. Primetime's actually one of my favorite Braves. Even though he wasn't probably known more either as a Red or a Yankee. And Primetime gets that. It gets a little, and it's wrong what people think. But they think that the Tomahawk Chop and the war chant that happens at Braves games came from Dion, because Dion, the reason why I like Dion is him and I went to Florida State together. And that's something that we always did at Florida State. Actually, it was the organist years before. The only reason why it is attributed to Primetime is that when he came with the Braves, it just so happened to be right around the time the Braves actually started winning. So people started watching it. Plus, you also had it, on television. Roberto Alomar, another great one, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. If you know me, you know I hack names up really, really well. Now, I did mention a product. Now, this, again, is because of the junk wax, anybody could put cards out. The MLB license was everywhere. I got this. It's a line drive set from 1991 with 8 cards in it. Or it's a book of some sort. I don't know. I've never seen one of these. and it's still sealed. So I'm going to cut it open and see what it is. Again, no clue what this may be. It's been sitting in a pack like this for 31 years. And I don't want to mess it up. So that's why I'm being a little bit cautious. Let's see what we got. Huh. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff in here. Good Lord, it's like a clown card. The more I take out, the more stuff is in it. So here's can win a fabulous Major League trip for 4 plus $2,000 as long as I do it before October 31st, 1991. Well, that's not going to happen. And if I can't find the premiere issue of these collector books, I can order more. But it ends December 31st, 1991. There's all the sets. That's not going to happen. Let's see what these are. Oh, this is interesting. So there are 8 little books. Let's take a look. Could almost made a video on this by itself. Harmon Killebrew. What kind of... Huh. The little story about Harmon Killebrew and along with all of his stats. Wow. Played from 1954 to 1975. And there's his career highlights. That's cool. What else did we get? Oh, Yogi Berra. Loved Yogi. And honestly, that's the first time I've ever seen Yogi in a Mets uniform. Usually you saw him in pinstripes that were black and white because he was definitely with the Yankees a long, long time. But look at that. That's cool. Much younger Yogi. Obviously, this is as a coach, not a player. There's him in the Yankees uniform. Huh. And he was in 14 World Series. He played from 1946 to 1965. Oh, that's interesting. That actually was him as a player, not as a coach. That's cool. The next one we got, Jose Rio. Whom I don't remember. He played in 1990. MVP of the World Series in 1990. Played from 84 to 90. So he didn't play for very long. Probably why I don't remember him that much. Next one we all remember, Rickey Henderson. The man could leave no base unstole. Born in 58, he's only 5'10". For whatever reason, I always thought Rickey Henderson was taller than that. Definitely fast. And Rickey played for a while, you know, Oakland and the Yankees. So he played from 79 to 90. Oakland, then he went to Yankees, and then he went back to Oakland. Yeah, he was always a head first Steeler. Single season, 130. And obviously he has the record for most stolen bases. Here's somebody else who's no longer with us, Tony Gwynn. And I actually have his rookie card from, I want to say 1982 Donruss. Also went to the NBA. Yep, it's 82 to 90. Mr. Padre. Got a few left. It's a Cubs legend, Mark Grace. These are really cool. Sometimes I'm going to have to actually sit down and read them all. Yeah, I'm trying to pause it a little bit on the pages, so if you're interested in reading them, you You can go back and pause the video. At this point, it was 88 to 90. Because obviously this is a 1991 set, so the only thing they have is stats for 90. It's Kevin Mitchell. These are cool. And I don't know how I got it. I mean, I don't know why, somebody would put these with the baseball cards. I guess I thought they were baseball cards. But they are still pretty cool. And last but not least, we got the kid. Now, this one couldn't be very much of a book because his rookie year was 1989. But somebody had the forethought to think, wow, this guy is going to be a good one. And you could just see right there, he is nicknamed Ken and Jr. His nickname's the Kid. We all know. Actually, he's born just before me. He's only a little bit older than I am. And he was tall. But definitely very young looking there. A lot of words for somebody who hasn't played for very long. But somebody knew that this guy was going to be something special. I mean, just look at, he has 2 stat lines, 99 and 90. Crazy. And even in those 2 years, he'd already hit 38 home runs. Huh. Well, that was cool. And I'm glad I could share that because I've never seen anything like that before, and I don't think most of us have. So obviously I'm not going to really, this was just a bunch of assorted stuff, so really nothing to recap. But obviously, I do open a lot of stuff. Sometimes it's set, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's modern, sometimes it's old, you name it. If you like this kind of stuff, once again, I invite you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button below and join the channel. Also, make sure to hit the notify bell so you get notified what I put up. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, and any comments, drop it in the comment section below. I appreciate taking the time to open some of this stuff, especially stuff that you probably don't see very often. Some of this can get kind of cool sometimes. You just never know what you're going to open up until you actually open the pack. So I appreciate taking the time to watch it, and until next time, bye now.